Good evening. Less than 2 hours and counting until England face Argentina. And in the words of Harry Kane, this is as big as it gets. From Barnet to Bromley, Havering to Hillingdon, every corner of the capital is draped in the England flag. Fan zones are packed and pubs are too. The game is perhaps even more special in East London, where Kane discovered his love of football. The England captain was born in Leytonstone and grew up in Walthamstow and Chingford. Just imagine how he's feeling right now over in Atlanta, because that's where the game is being played, and we will be live there later in the programme too. But first, Rags Martel has gone south of the river and is in Southwark, and Rags' opponents don't come much bigger than Argentina, do they?
That's right, and then there were three. This is all about who will play Spain in the World Cup final, and everyone here is watching it with expectation. Scenes like this will be replicated up and down the capital. So where do we start tonight? Well, we start with our captain, fantastic Harry Kane, and we've been to his old school in Chingford.
Come on, England!
England in a semi-final against Argentina. How do you feel about it?
Quite nervous, but also really excited too.
What's your score prediction?
2-1 England.
Really exciting, but it's really nerve-wracking too.
We're at Harry Kane's old school.
I'm excited, but it's a bit nerve-wracking because we don't know what's going to happen.
So obviously it could go either way, and that's tournament football, but I have belief in that it will come home.
Bit nervous, but I reckon we have it in the bag. Kane, I think it'll be 1-0.
This is Chingford Foundation School, which has produced 2 England captains.
I think England will win the game. Kane will get one, Bellingham will get one as well, and I think it's coming home.
Yeah, feeling good. I think we're going to beat them.
I think it's going to be good. I reckon we win 3-1. Then I reckon we win the final as well.
So Harry and Sir David came here?
Yes.
Mr McGelligot taught Harry Kane English and PE.
What made him so special? You see him at a schoolboy.
Well, it's interesting in that he was actually in a football team. I was their football manager. He was in a football team with lots of good players. Difference was absolutely his attitude, his determination, his commitment to the game. Football crazy kid.
Can England do it?
Definitely, they will do it.
Nice and cosy.
As for the man himself, the England captain's thinking of the journey from Chingford to Atlanta.
What a game! What an occasion to play one of the best teams, the reigning world champions, in a semi-final of a World Cup. Yeah, I think in these moments, I think back to being a kid and having dreams and what it'd be like to play in these games. And yeah, this is as big as it gets.
And the opponents tonight, an old enemy. Man in '98, Beckham, put his foot in it.
For Beckham, it's a red card.
Come on, England.
David C.
Makes us all, we can all chill out and have a nice beer or whatever you want to drink and watch the game in comfort rather than the stress looking through your hands and, you know, not looking at the telly and all that sort of thing.
We respect our opponent, but we don't dip in historic events, and we don't make it bigger than it is. It's a big football match. It's, like you said, a big occasion. We are very excited, grateful, but very hungry and ready to go.
And for this London couple, the division tonight is plain to see.
I'm really nervous.
I'm excited because obviously I'm not used to semi-finals as much as Agostina has been Argentinian in recent years. So I'm excited to meet all my boys in the pub later, but also nervous.
I'm excited as well. I think for our generation this game is going to be like the biggest game ever. I'm really excited. This is the first time that I'm going to watch England against Argentina.
Trust the process, it's coming home. Arsenal trusted the process, it came home this year for us. Got to trust the process of England as well. It's coming home.
As I said before, this is more than a game for Argentina. So vamos Argentina, and if we lose, there's nothing else that we can ask for them. So thank you.
And their feelings run so deep, the couple aren't even going to watch the match together. And from a school in Chingford to a stadium in Atlanta, Harry Kane now carries the hopes of a nation.
Rags, we can't really overstate what a huge sporting moment this is. How are fans where you are feeling right now?
Well, I think I'm the most nervous one here, but there seems to be quite a lot of confidence, which scares me a little bit. We often talk about the 60 years of hurt, but part of that hurt, part of that pain comes from nights like this. There's only been 3 World Cup semi-finals for England since 1966. There's only been 3 times since England have played Argentina since 1966. It's been that hand of God, that David Beckham red card, so it's all quite painful sometimes, but everyone here seems quite confident. Here's the thoughts of some of the people we spoke to earlier.
Feeling very good. Looking forward to it, and I hope you get the win.
I think it's going to be quite close, maybe 3-2.
Oh, 3-2, I was going to say like 2-1.
Oh.
England 2, Argentina 0.
100% they're going to win.
Super excited, but super nervous at the same time. There's a lot of history here, so yeah, feeling a bit on edge.
Even if we don't win today, we're still really proud of you. It's coming home. Come on, England!
And everyone is going to feeling lots of emotions tonight. 90 minutes of football to be played. Perhaps some VAR, perhaps a yellow, red card, who knows? But there'll be more from here a little later on, where we'll have a brass band singing It's Coming Home. Back to you.
OK, Rags, for now, thank you. We're not finished with the World Cup yet. Plenty more to come later in the programme. We'll be live in Atlanta, where the game is being played. And, of course, we'll check in again with Rags as the clock counts down to kick-off. Before that, though, let's have a look at some of today's other news. And 2 hackers who got into computers which help operate London's transport system could have caused catastrophic damage, a court heard today. The cyber attack by Tala Jabir and Owen Flowers didn't stop the tube running, but it did cause chaos behind the scenes and serious disruption to online services. Transport for London was left picking up a bill for £29 million to protect and restore its systems. Kafo Patter is following the case at Woolwich Crown Court.
Well, this hack wasn't just one of the biggest Transport for London has ever experienced. It was also one of the largest data breaches of any British public service. And while it didn't exactly bring trains grinding to a halt, people stuck on the underground, the effect on TfL was astronomical. It cost them millions of pounds. All 29,000 staff members had to reset their passwords. Customers were also affected. 10 million people had their personal details exposed. Under 16s, they couldn't apply for an Oyster card, known as a zip card at that age. And the refund system was frozen for a considerable period of time. Now, the people responsible are 20-year-old Tala Jabir from Tower Hamlets and 18-year-old Owen Flowers from Walsall in the West Midlands. Together, they infiltrated TfL's cyber systems for 3 days in 2024. It took a whole year to find them, but then when they were eventually found, they were arrested at their respective home addresses. Both teams were part of an online criminal group known by the name of Scattered Spider, linked to a number of cyber attacks on major corporations. Now, Flowers and Jabir were charged with a number of cyber offences, but because they pleaded guilty, there was no trial. Today, however, we've been hearing a bit more detail about how they hacked TfL. The prosecution told us that they worked through the night for 16 hours to gain access to TfL's systems. They were able to do this by tricking the help desk into resetting a password. They then logged onto a sensitive part of TfL and then effectively used TfL's own systems to assist them with the hack. Now, both Flowers and Jabir have been described as highly skilled with computers, but make no mistake, what they did had catastrophic effects. And tomorrow, here at Woolwich Crown Court at 11:30 a.m, they will learn the punishments for their crimes.
Kafo Patter reporting from Woolwich Crown Court. Now, life is about to feel very different for the MP for Holborn and St Pancras. Sir Keir Starmer is just days away from stepping down as Prime Minister and will go from running the country to spending a lot more time in his constituency, dealing with things like crime, transport and potholes. Until then, there's still business to be done, and today Sir Keir faced his final Prime Minister's questions, where he said he was proud of what he'd achieved. But do people in his constituency agree? Here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
The clock is ticking in Downing Street, not just for kick-off, but for the end of Sir Keir Starmer's premiership. As he left for his final Prime Minister's questions, students in his Holborn and St Pancras constituency were settling down to watch. And it was clear from the start this was no ordinary PMQs.
In addition to my duties in this House, I have an important appointment with the television at 8 o'clock this evening.
The normal rules of engagement were set aside as Kemi Badenoch praised the Prime Minister's wife and children.
As everyone here knows, our families make a huge sacrifice for our choice to enter public life. So I hope he will allow me to draw our time together to a close by thanking them for the love and support they have given him throughout his time in office.
She has extended kindness to me privately at very difficult times, including when there was an attempt to burn down our family home, which deeply affected my family. She reached out to me. And when my brother died of cancer, she reached out to me privately.
The politics students watching at Regent High in Somerstown have lived under 7 prime ministers.
We can really tell that the way that the UK politics is going on is that it's really messy.
His leadership style was the thing that let him down the most. He'll be known as a more cautious PM than anyone else.
He wasn't able to carry out a lot of his promises. His main manifesto was change, although some would say there wasn't much of a change.
Are you sorry to see him go?
Not really. I can say I'm sorry in terms of how he is as a Prime Minister, but some of the scandals he's faced, I'm not sure if I 100% respect him as a man.
I think he'll be remembered in a great light and not really for his mistakes nearing the end of his reign.
So what now for the departing PM, who won his seat at the last election with a majority of more than 11,000? Downing Street has let it be known Sir Keir has no plans to resign as the MP for Holborn and St Pancras. A by-election here would have been potentially awkward for the new Prime Minister because of the strong challenge Labour faces from the Greens in some parts of London.
Goodbye.
At the end of Prime Minister's questions, he left a cheers from the Labour MPs who so badly wanted him gone. Simon Harris, ITV News, Somerstown.
Still to come on the programme tonight, Sally's here with the weather and some predictions for the rest of the summer. Plus, we're back with the fans ahead of the emotional roller coaster of England versus Argentina. But first, in a built-up city like London, green spaces really help communities breathe, but one group is really worried about theirs. People who use Granville Recreation Ground, known simply as Granville Wreck, aren't happy about the council redeveloping the site for new homes. They say the patch of land in South Kilburn is irreplaceable and more than just a park, but soon they'll have to start from scratch somewhere else, as Hannah Kings reports.
Even in today's searing heat, the community garden at Granville Wreck was a hive of activity.
It's transformed your life, hasn't it? Big time.
Angel and Sarah both volunteer at the Wreck every week. Angel says it helps when she's struggling with her mental health.
When you have depression, I mean, sometimes I don't want to talk to nobody. When I came here, I come sit with the plant, and I could see my health, even the children. My children, they see that me. I've been getting better.
I've been coming here for years, but particularly since the garden and the vegetable plot started, it's really like a precious resource. It's like an oasis. So I'm just picking some kale here.
Jo works with the volunteers.
So the veg that we harvest from here goes into a pay what you can veg box scheme. Also our volunteers will take some produce away with them. Also the local community can come and harvest or take what they would like. And then some of it goes into our community meals.
But volunteers fear this year's harvest could be their last from here, because there are plans to build new homes where the garden is now and relocate the community hub to a new site.
The council have given us, don't know if you can see the garden hall there, the new building. We're upskilling local people to grow food. That kind of relationship with the land you cannot get from a small garden in front of 4 or 5 massive buildings.
A lot of people in London do need housing.
The council are building 2,400 plus more homes in this small area. The density is enormous and is growing. We're doubling to trebling the population. And we would argue that we need to double or treble the amenities. So we need more community space.
Brent Council says the new site, which was designed in partnership with the community kitchen, includes a community garden, rooftop growing planters, a purpose-built commercial kitchen and community rooms. But those who treasure this garden say it can't just be replaced, because for them, it's somewhere a whole community has grown. Hannah Kings, ITV News.
OK, let's go back to the World Cup, and England's fate will be decided tonight in Atlanta, famously the birthplace of Coca-Cola. But will it also be famous for a big England win? Well, Ashna Harinag has been following the England team right from the beginning. Ashna, how are fans there feeling right now?
Well, as we heard in Rags's report earlier in the programme, you know, Harry Kane, it is all about him. His passion for football, we know, don't we, began when he grew up in East London. But it will be his cool, calmed collectedness, but also his leadership will be all important when it comes to this seismic clash. You asked me how the fans are feeling, Yasmin. Oh my goodness, are they nervous? They are heavily outnumbered. I know we've probably seen that and heard that everywhere, but it is true. I'd say the split really does feel like it's 90% Argentinians, 10% England fans. But they're here in their droves and in spirit too. They can feel the passion from those back home, especially in the capital. And what we know from Thomas Tuchel is that he has said that part of the job of his players is to bring joy to the fans back home. Their players themselves are doing their best to block out the noise. They are well aware of the controversy and I suppose the history that these two teams have. England versus Argentina is one for the generations, isn't it? Fans, I've got to tell you, have been ushered into separate entrances. There's a little bit of tension around if the two will be okay tonight post-match. But look, all to play for. Key questions ahead. Will Declan Rice be fit from his illness, and will his fellow teammate Arsenal teammate too, Bukayo Saka, be also free to play? All to play for, and we shall watch and see what happens.
We certainly will. Thanks, Ashna. Enjoy the match. OK, Atlanta is going to get really noisy, but I think the cheers here in London will be just as loud. Let's check back in with Rags in Southwark right now. Rags, are they ready there?
I think they are very ready. It's getting loud. I can hardly hear you, but I think we've got to talk to about one person, Lionel Messi, the small elephant in the room. He's played more than 200 times for Argentina. Had a very good World Cup. It's Chris Howe, operations manager here at the bar. What's your World Cup been like?
I mean, the World Cup so far has been amazing for us. Every single week for the tournament, we've broken our own record, one week after the other. We've had our record trading day ever. Sold over 35,000 tickets, 60,000 pints, and you know, if tonight goes well, then we'll keep going.
Good for business?
Great for business, yeah, amazing. I think the weather hasn't hurt either, but I think having the extra teams in the tournament has also helped. Like, we've had lots and lots of cosmopolitan fan groups coming in. It's been incredible.
And it could go for one more game.
Absolutely.
What's your prediction tonight?
I mean, 3-1 England.
And what's been the best night so far? What's been the biggest night so far?
I think Saturday night just gone, where we hosted a full house of England fans, and then right after that we managed to host a full house of Argentinian fans as well, with absolutely no incidents. So phenomenal.
Superb. And what do you hope for the actual result in the World Cup?
I would love England to win the World Cup. You know, that extra bank holiday, and we'll definitely be doing a celebration party here.
Chris, thank you so much. But let's move over here because we've got the Fat Cat brass band. They're going to play us out with It's Coming Home. Take it away. 3, 4, 1.
Rags, thank you. I think if it was a concert, we'd definitely win this, wouldn't we? OK, plenty of fans will be like these guys watching the game outside in the sunshine. Sally's out in the sun as well. And Sally, we're all feeling the heat. And according to a big report today, we'd better get used to it.
Yes, indeed. I feel like I'm about to spoil the mood slightly. This is an annual report that's come out by the Met Office about the state of the climate. It's not a future prediction. It's not saying what's going to happen in 20 years. It is saying what has already happened. And that is that the weather from the 20th century is over. It's gone. And this extreme weather that we're getting now is the new normal. What it also says, and you may know this already, is that 2025 was the warmest year on record. But did you also know that actually the last 4 years have been in the top 5 warmest years on record? And what about here in London? What does it say about us? Well, let me show you these two maps. So the first one shows the average temperature across the UK from 1961 to 1990. You can see that London is warmer than the rest of the UK. Let's mix in to the next time period, which brings us up to 2020. And you can see how much the UK has warmed up and London. And in fact, the number of days of 30 degrees or above in Greater London has quadrupled. So yes, climate change is happening right here. It's caused by humans, and if you'll forgive the segue, that is why it is so nice to be here at Wisley and see something positive that humans have done to cope with climate change. This is their wildlife garden. They created it especially to cope with our changing climate. We've got beautiful water features here and flowers that can cope with the heat, like these salvia. And the reason for that is that we're not the only ones who are struggling. I'm really struggling tonight, but our pollinators are as well. There's something here that's really special I want to show you. Look at that. That is a bug hotel. It is like the Ritz of bug hotels. I'm half expecting to see a jacuzzi down at the bottom, and of course it creates shade for all our bees and butterflies. Right, let's come and talk to Guy now. Guy's the chief horticulturalist here. Guy, first of all, what is the problem for bees and butterflies?
It's hot and dry, and that makes it difficult for them to collect the pollen and nectar that they depend on.
Okay, what are you doing about it here, and what can we do about it at home to help them?
Well, here our ecologists and entomologists have designed a garden that provides everything that insects need, and it's lovingly maintained by our garden staff, so it's part of our research, and by finding out more about gardens that support bees and pollinators, we can better advise Britain's gardeners.
What can we do at home, just quickly?
You can put out a saucer of water with some pebbles in it, and that allows insects access to water safely.
So they can just go in and drink. And what about in the long term? What can we do with plants? It's probably a bit late now to start planting stuff because it's so dry, but what can we put in?
Once the autumn rains return, we can start putting in things like salvias, we can sow wildflowers like teasels, the veronicastrum that we've got over there that we were looking at, the verbenas, a whole range of pollinator-friendly plants, of which we've published lists.
And just briefly, if we see a bee on the floor, what should we do?
Call me a softie, but I like to pick it up, put it in the shade next to some water and hope it recovers.
All right, listen, Guy, thank you so much. Lovely to speak to you. There's one more thing I want to show you. Take a look at this chart. So I know it looks a bit like a bingo chart, but the thing I want you to concentrate on is the colour red, because red stands for the high pressure, and high pressure is typically associated with settled and dry weather. And you can see that we've got that red, that high pressure, looking like more or less it will stay with us until the end of August. Now, this is a forecast for the trend of high pressure, so it could change, but look how dry it's potentially looking this summer. So yeah, we said that climate change would lead to wetter winters and drier summers, and we're getting these drier summers here right now. We are on day 12 of our heat wave here in London. We don't need the Big Brother voice for that. It's really quite intense. It is going to ease off. Let's take a little look at the forecast. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again. I hope you had a lovely day. You've probably noticed there's some cloud around to start the days at the moment, and we'll have a bit more of that tomorrow morning. But once it's cleared, once that sun comes out, it's very warm, if not hot, and certainly as we go through the day it heats up and still staying dry. The other thing to note though is that if you do want something a little bit cooler, the coast is probably the best place to be. So let's take a look at the pressure chart, because you can see as the week goes on Friday, we might, just might, get the odd shower, but it is by no means guaranteed. And you can see as we go into the weekend, that air starts to come down from the north, and that will introduce that slightly cooler weather. So fresher for all of us, particularly at the coast. Right, the details. So this evening it might be a little hazy for some of you, but otherwise some lovely blue skies out here. As the temperatures cool down, it'll probably feel quite pleasant. But as we go overnight, we will get a bit more low cloud heading our way. The temperatures by the end of the night will end up in those mid-teens. So yes, still mild, but not horrendous. As we start tomorrow, more of the same. Some of that low cloud starting the day, and again it does hang on, it's a bit stubborn in a few spots, but as it breaks up and that strong sunshine comes through, the temperatures will be similar to today, highs of 29 to 30. However, it might in some areas turn a bit hazy, not quite as hot there as a result, but again, if you want that cooler air, you need to go to the East Coast. That's the place to be. So let's take a look at the outlook. More sunshine on the way, cloud at times, but temperatures coming down a bit into the weekend. That's your weather. Here's the pollen.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
pollen levels remain high at the moment. I'm quite glad in this garden I don't have hay fever. It's coming from grasses and weeds. We've also got some moderate air pollution around, and even if it's hazy, that UV is still strong. That's it from us all here at Wisley from the birds and the bees. See you later on. Cheerio.
Thanks, Sally. And just before we go, there have been many tributes to Jurassic Park actor Sam Neill, who died aged 78, but none quite like this. Only in London would you get the band of the Welsh Guards performing the famous Jurassic Park theme. The special performance came during changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace in front of a delighted crowd. Sam Neill, of course, played Dr. Alan Grant in the blockbuster dinosaur franchise, along with many other film and TV roles. Isn't that nice? Right, that's it from us. The evening news is next with Gamal with lots more on the World Cup. But for now, from all of us, enjoy your evening and hopefully the football. Bye-bye.